Hello, it's Simone. I'm here to do day 17 of 30 Inks 30 Days. And I keep on repeating my spiel of how I choose the inks and what I'm doing. So if you're interested in that and you haven't watched any of my other videos, I will link the first video where I talk about this in the description box below. The ink for today is Yuletide. It's so cool. We have this really green, gray, bluish storyline here, color story. Ooh. And I think Yuletide fits right in with this. This is, I think it's not as turquoise as it looks on here, but I haven't used that yet. And I remembered when I picked the inks that I was so drawn to this when I did the Inkvent in 2021, and I'm so surprised that I still have not put this in a pen yet. And the pen that I'm going to put this in, I already know, because I'm going to send it out today because someone purchased it. Yay! And I'm so excited that this will now have a new home. I'm going to clean this, of course, and rinse it well, but I would love to try and use it once before I send it out. This has a beautiful coated nib from Heinz Pen Company. I'm not sure if they're called Heinz Pens, Heinz Pen Company. They're a small maker and one of their pen maker, and one of their specialties is that they have these color-coded nibs. This pen is a limited special edition that was done in collaboration with Heinz Pen Company. It's called Pink Sands, and it's very, very lovely. And I think the color is very correct on camera right now. It's very bright, very corally. And what makes this even more special is that it doesn't have a regular nib. It has a scribe nib, which is an interpretation of an architect nib. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I will correct it on screen if that's wrong, that this is, the Instagram handle is, I think, JJ Lax Co. That's their specialty nib grind in collaboration with Esterbrook. I think their specialty nibs have been really, really popular in the circles that I am frequenting at the moment. And so I think they have gotten a little bit more traction. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe it's just because I'm moving in these circles that I feel like they are on the rise. It's definitely a great option to try nibs, but it's not the only way you can try specialty nib grinds. There are so many nib meisters out there that you can actually purchase nibs from. You don't even have to send in your personal nib. If you have an Esterbrook or any other pen that is compatible with Jowo nibs, Penrealm, Kirk Spear, for instance, you can order them from his website. And I do assume and think that many of the other nibmeisters have an option like that as well. So you wouldn't even have to have your own pen to send in. You could just order a nib that is ground. And so you can order nibs, pens with grinds, definitely from Kirk, but probably from many of the other people as well. I know, or I think Nibsmith does the same thing. Not sure about Custom Nib Studio and the others, but if you put that into Google search, you will probably find your answers. And if you have more questions about specialty nib grinds, please ask them in the comments below. I'm not sure I can answer all of them, but maybe I can connect you or direct you to places where you can find answers to those questions if you don't already have a starting point to search for those. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about this. And I don't know why I took this apart one more time. See, oh my God, I love this. Why did I wait for so long to put this in a pen? Sometimes I wonder if when I'm collecting so many samples and I don't take the time to use them actually, and that's constantly happening to me. I felt like I had an almost grip, especially with my plan on doing 30 inks 30 days in September. I felt like I was on the right track at the end of July. I've been using quite a lot of samples. I haven't purchased many, but then August happened, and all of a sudden I think I received from various different friends and people in this community, YouTube viewers, followers that absolutely appreciated for sure, that reached out and wanted to send and gift me some samples. And so now I have gained around 75 samples in just one single month. And then also I purchased the 2 inks in San Francisco, knowing that I had so many ink samples already, but I just couldn't resist. That was one of those purchases that didn't have to happen because I knew about the ink samples, but also I really, really wanted to buy inks. So I did. Yeah, so I'm like, what I'm trying to say is that sometimes I wonder if maybe I'm looking for a teal that looks exactly like this, and I don't even know I already have it in my house. So I keep looking and keep thinking, oh, I need to try this ink. I need to try this ink. This ink looks amazing. This ink looks great. And I'm looking online and looking at all these swatches and samples other people use without realizing that maybe I should just use this one. And it is the perfect one for me. Oh, wow. This is quite a lot of ink in here. I'm going to expel some because I know that I'm going to use this only for the transcription project. And then I'm going to empty it out right away and send it off to its new owner. I just thought it would be really fun because I know that the person who purchased this pen is watching my YouTube channel. And so maybe she will get a kick out of this when she's watching 30 inks 30 days. If she is. Maybe she's just watching my regular videos because 30 videos a month is a lot. I also decided that I do have 2 more videos coming. Well, actually, when you're watching this, then they have already been published. But I have 2 more videos. One is already scheduled. One is a collaboration video that you probably have seen already. Diamine. Okay, I really like this. Inkvent. And this is Yuletide. I am very sure that if you have a regular normal grip and you don't have a grip that is very, very high, very, very high writing angle, we can try that in here in a sec. You will be really happy with this pen. So this is the Esterbrook. Pink Sands with a scribe nib. And when I'm done with transcribing, I will research who makes this nib grind and put their name down here. So I was interested in finding out what happens if my writing angle is not perfect. So if I have a very high writing angle, there's not much line variation. It works. It feels very dry. So if your writing angle is higher than this, so high like this, this is 90. This could be 60 degrees-ish. I would recommend that if you wanted to try an architect nib, to reach out to a nibmeister so that they can accommodate your writing angle in their grinding. This is definitely not made for this angle. Let's put 60-ish degrees. I'm gonna go really low now. So let's try this. Okay, this definitely works. This is very low. I would say this is, yeah, maybe 30-ish. And then my personal normal writing angle is like so. This I would say is probably 45 degrees. And I think this is a really good it shows that you can use those. This is a really wet writing experience, so I'm trying to gather my thoughts. This is okay. Actually, this is, I think, the most ideal because your line variation is there. It is visible. However, it's not so overpowering that if I write with the 30-ish angle, probably, especially in a grid size like that, this paper here, it's really hard to actually read your writing. So what I was saying, and let me just fill this in before I'm tapping out and transcribing, is that I have decided to, besides these 2 videos that are on my channel already, that I'm not going to publish any other videos during the rest of the month of September. Not that I don't have, this sounds really stupid, not that I don't have the bandwidth. I probably could edit and just push them out, videos. But the problem is that I don't have the bandwidth to make corresponding Instagram posts, share them everywhere, which I tend to do. I wonder sometimes, and maybe you can answer that questions in the comments below. So when you watch this video, is this because you're subscribed to my channel? Is this because you already know that I'm doing 30 inks and you're coming here every day? Are you coming from a different social channel because I am sharing that I made a video and that's why you come here? Because I feel like if I'm pushing out so many videos and I don't give it the attention it deserves on other social media meaning Instagram, then I'm not doing this video justice. But I'm wondering if that is just in my brain or if that is actual reality. So I decided I do not have the bandwidth to post on Instagram more than the 2 posts, the reel for this and then the actual photo of the transcription per day. And so I'm not sharing any more videos. And I also think that's totally okay. Yeah, I think so. And I also just want to dedicate a little bit more time to the editing. I noticed that especially with these last 3 or 4 videos, so even if you notice that I promised a link in the description box and you went to check it out and it's not there, just leave a comment and remind me to post it. I have a completely blank. I don't even know what I talked about yesterday. So like I don't even know what I'm supposed to put there. And so it's a little bit hard in that respect. Usually when I post videos, I watch them and take notes throughout rewatching the video. But I decided that I'm just not going to do that for 30 inks, 30 days, because that's just way too much. I know that I'm not, besides that one video where I was triggering probably, or talking about things that I might not have talked about, I don't think I'm saying things that need to be clarified or anything. I need to put the thing on the screen, but everything else I don't edit. Too much information. See you later. So I am back, and I am not so sure that, so what I notice is that I'm struggling most of the time with this paper when I'm writing on the right side of the page of the spread. Not this time, because this was super wet, but this one was weird. This one was okay, but still felt hard. This one didn't work well. This one was okay, but again, I did feel like it had a lot of resistance. And I think if I'm like comparing this to this feels smoother than this. This feels more girthy, toothy. And yeah, so I didn't enjoy myself at all when I wrote this. I made lots of mistakes because I just like, I was constantly, wow, why is this so bad? Why, maybe it's the paper, maybe it's a different kind of thing. And so I did not pay attention to what I was writing. Here I repeated the same sentence. So I wrote challenged books in his district and challenged books in his district. Okay. So I just left it there and decided that that's not going to, here I put these apostrophes up here, just random mistakes that I made because I was more preoccupied with the fact that this was such a bad writing experience. And then I started to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm sending this poor woman a pen that is not at all nice and doesn't write well and all this. But luckily, I'm using this 52 GSM Hobonichi paper, which is also Tomoe River paper. These both are the same paper brand. However, they are not the same weight. And I also think that they're not coated the same way. Maybe, I know that Fudefan had a really huge article about all of this, especially with the Sanzen Tomoe River paper. Oh, I can also show you a writing sample on this one. This color is absolutely stunning. It flows nicely in this pen on 52 GSM, not so much on 68 GSM. The pen and nib are really nice on smooth paper, very lovely to write with. I can see myself getting one of those nibs in the future. The 68 GSM was a struggle again today. And there's a cat walking by. And this nib shines in all caps. So if you look at this and the way this looks, this does not come across as much and as well, the line variation in the nib when you use cursive writing or capital letters and what's the other word? Not capital letters. So if you're someone who writes with all caps, this nib is definitely perfect. I like that it gives me a little bit more line variation than just a regular rounded nib like this. But that's all I have to say. I'm glad I finally got to use this color because it's definitely hitting a sweet spot with the colors that I like. I really gravitate towards these teals and turquoises, and this is not a turquoise, this is a teal, and I like that it leans a lot bluer. Is it blue? Does it lean more blue or more green? What would you say from what you see on the camera? I'm curious to know. And yeah, it fits right in. I'm thinking of, because I'm using so many of these teals and this one, for instance, maybe I should do a monthly currently inked where I use only these kinds of colors in my pens and see what I think about them. Who knows what I'm going to do in October, but that's a thought that I had when I was working on this. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Little cat butt that needs to go to the vet tomorrow. He's losing a tooth. And I noticed last night, and it's Sunday today, when I'm filming this, of course. All right, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.